Here's how this community member went from a freelancer, just like I was, to closing plus 1,700 retainers right off the bat.
All right. First client signed for 1,743 per month. Okay, so that's a retainer. Hey guys, very excited to share that I finally got my first client signed after being in this group for 3 months, making loads of mistakes. I can finally see progress. I had a lot of worry for fulfillment. Yeah, classic. And I think that is what's subconsciously hindering my progress over the first few months. Classic, yeah. See, this is the biggest mistake that most beginners, freelancers, and entrepreneurs in the AI and automation space constantly make, is that they think about fulfillment without even having a first client. So it's kind of like trying to study parenting when you don't even know how babies are made, right? Think about it, right? Now it sounds funny, but it's the truth, right? It's kind of like when it's kind of like worrying about gas prices or like traffic when you don't even have a car, right? Or you don't even have a driving license, right? So it doesn't make any sense, right? So think about it. If you worry about fulfillment, right? Let me give you like a usual situation, okay? So this is the usual situation. So we are here, okay? We are in this point, right? We are here. And then this is basically us having a successful business, okay? So I'm here, right? I pick a niche, for example. I say, okay, I'm going to go pick a niche, right? I pick, for example, SaaS, right? I go here, right? And I'm going up, going up, right? I'm going there, right? I'm getting closer to my goal, right? And then limits and beliefs starts kicking in, right? Well, what do I do for fulfillment? Do I really need to go for SaaS, right? Now, the only thing you have to do, just stick here, and then you're gonna arrive to the end goal, right? Which is a successful AI automation or sales systems or automation business in general, right? Any business in general, right? Because these fundamentals apply to any business, not just AI, okay? Once you get closer, right? You're just like one step before like getting to that goal. And then boom, you just pivot. And then same thing over and over again. Same mistake, right? Pick a niche, you pick something, you go for it, and you're like, don't really think this is gonna work, etc. And then you pivot. Now, if you just stuck, right, the next step would be basically like you achieving that goal. So why stop? So this is basically what happens, all right? So I had a lot of worry for fulfillment, and I think this is what subconsciously is hindering my progress over the first few months. So I decided to offer some free trials as a way of providing value upfront, but also as a way to prove to myself that I could do it. Yes, obviously, you need to prove to yourself that you can do it. Not even other people, right? Subconsciously, we think that we want to prove it to the world, but in reality, we actually want to prove it to ourselves. I promised this client 2 to 3 meetings within the 2-week trial period, and after 2 weeks, I delivered nothing. One positive reply, but no meetings. To my surprise, they still wanted to move forward with working with me as they believed I could deliver the results. See, yeah, this is the juice of providing value up front. I kept the campaign going in order to send out the last of the few follow-ups. And just as I am about to send a new quote to the client, a little lower than originally quoted due to producing no results, I received a positive reply and I booked them straight into the client's calendar. Then I felt confident enough to charge 1.7K, and they accepted and referred for a friend to me that runs a tech business to start a free trial campaign. I didn't have to give a guarantee in order to close them, which speaks to the advice of what's giving value upfront. Yeah, it can do for you. Yeah, 100%. See, when you provide value, you expand the market. And people who get rewarded are people who expand the market. You know, when you expand the market, whether it's by services, whether it's by selling knowledge, anything really. When you expand the market rewards you. I also didn't charge a setup fee. Instead, I went for a retainer model. So right off the bat. So like, think about it. See how it's so interesting how it works. See how so interesting how the universe works. There are months and years where nothing happens, and there are weeks and days where everything happens, okay? It wasn't cheap to give a free try, and it required a lot of hours for me to set up, but it was definitely worth it. There was a few times I struggled, and I didn't think I'd make it to this point if I'm honest, but I'm so glad I stuck with it and I kept pushing. Obviously, the magic formula is there is no magic formula. Just keep pushing, like literally. I really appreciate all the value support from this community, and I definitely wouldn't have been able to do it without you all. Congrats, Nicole. So this is my comment. literally tears. You pushed through the hardest parts, all the doubts, all the setbacks, and came out with real momentum. Most people give up before this moment ever happens. You earned this big time. Hats off. From someone who's seen so many journeys stall at the trial stage. True. Let me say it straight. You didn't just land the clients, you unlocked the whole game. So proud of you. Welcome to the winner's circle. You're officially dangerous now. 1,700 retainer is really, really good, especially for first clients, right? Think about it. Most people just dream about 1,700 as a monthly income. Think about it. So that's awesome. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to go and work on this project live. And that way you guys can see my thought process whenever I'm basically building out these sales systems, how to approach this campaign, the sales system campaign, copywriting, offer, etc. And then we're going to dissect everything together end to end. Okay, so let's just get started. So let's talk about, first we're going to talk about this clients that she's currently working with. Like, what do they provide? Okay, now obviously when you work with a client, they have like pretty vague offers. For example, will we provide agile marketing strategies? But in reality, like, what do you actually do? This sounds like a politician, right? So what do you actually do? Like, when you sit on your desk, like, what do you actually do? So this is exactly what I've done. I've done my best to clarify this client's offer. So this is what they do. So a child can understand this, right? When they sit at their desk, they're essentially Amazon Web Service build detectives and security auditors. They log into your AWS console, run audits on your infrastructure, and find all the stupid stuff that you've been doing that's bleeding money. And they write up a report showing you're spending 8K when you should be spending 4K. Fix everything so it doesn't happen again and hand you back a system that costs half as much and won't get you hacked. It's basically IT cleanup work. Nothing sexy. They're just janitors for your cloud infrastructure, but good janitors who save you thousands monthly. Most companies just pay whatever bills shows up. These guys fix that laziness. That's literally it, okay? Here are the industry that they want to target. So it's SaaS, software development, obviously DevOps, IT services. The headcount is going to be basically 10 to 200, and this is the tech stack because this is a signal, right? A company that is using AWS, Lambda, Kubernetes, EC2, DevOps, Cloudflare. It just shows that they probably need this audits. They need this IT service that this client actually provides, right? So titles to target are going to be CTOs, right? So all these technical roles, VP engineering, head of ops, engineering manager, co-founder, tech lead, etc. All of these. Obviously, whenever we build out a sales system, you want to identify the lead sourcing databases along with copywriting, how you're going to build that offer. And you also want to pre-draft something called a dream email. Okay, so let me walk you guys through it and we're going to basically dissect it together. I'm going to explain my thought process when I was writing this. That way you guys can take what I teach and implement it in your own business, or even if you are a beginner that wants to get started, you would have like an idea of what a good outreach message is. Okay, so dream email written by Saad. Hey, first name. Saad company name is running a cloud heavy stack. Figured out reach out. Again, why I'm saying this is because since I'm gonna find these companies, right? These leads that I'm gonna be talking to. Well, since I'm gonna filter by, just like we talked about here, tech stack, right? Since I'm filtering by tech stack, well, I know they are using either AWS, Lambda, Kubernetes, etc. Okay. I know a founder who's helped a few UK software companies cut their AWS bills by 30 to 50% in under 60 days. He runs an IT consultancy that's dialed into cost control, especially for teams burning plus 5K a month on infra. You two should connect. Want me to intro you. Again, this is called the connector style. Okay. So I'm essentially just making the intro. I'm not pitching anybody, which is what a sales system agency is. Essentially, you just connect A to B and you make a commission out of it. Okay. Now let's talk about why this copy is 10 out of 10 and why it did an amazing job. Okay. Obviously. So the reason why this copy is great is because it's pain led, right? It makes them feel the pain right now. Now there's two things. There's pain aware. And what it means is essentially just mentioning the problem exists, and pain led is making the other party feel the problem right now. Okay. So this is what most people do. They're pain aware. Okay. They use the pain aware angle, which means we help companies save money on X. Many businesses struggle with X, Y, and Z. And they read it. So these prospects, right? Your prospects are going to read it and then they're going to be like, yeah, that's probably true for some people and move on. No urgency. But when you go for the pain led, right, what actually works, right? This is after sending millions of emails and actually working with people, right? So I know what works. Are you spending more than an X amount of dollars or pounds monthly on X, Y, and Z? When's the last time you audited X, Y, and Z? So these make them stop and think about their specific situation. They can't just nod and move on. They have to mentally check their own setup. The difference is urgency, okay? Pain aware creates awareness. Pain led creates action, okay? So, okay, it's a difference. There's a difference between I'm aware of that problem and I'm taking action to solve that problem, right? I'm aware, right? You might be thinking, I'm aware that I need to be successful, but still, you need to take action, right? You can't just snap your fingers and be successful because they suddenly realize they might be the one with the problem, see? So right now, what are we going to do? Well, step one is we're going to scope the project together. Step one is we need to build a list, right? So we're going to be using Apollo, which is a lead sourcing database, okay? So Apollo, and then we're going to scrape it using Epify. And then obviously the system is going to be fully automated. So step two is going to be cleaning, validating emails. Validate emails. Why are we validating emails, Saad? Well, good question, because when you scrape leads or prospects or contacts, whatever you want to call it, from any lead sourcing database, you need to validate the emails because people change jobs. Sometimes the data is not accurate. So always make sure to validate the emails, okay? And I'm going to walk you guys through two ways. Basically, like an affordable way to validate emails, right, is going to be mails.so. And there's another one called Mail Tester Ninja. Pick whatever makes sense to you. And then in her case, we already have the Command Center, which is essentially a platform specifically for the community members, because we want to cut down costs on members. So we built our own in-house tools instead of them paying $500 a month for tools. You can choose your own. Okay. So step three is obviously we need to clean the company name. So clean names, because typically when you get data or gather data off the internet, you're going to see that there's multiple suffixes such as ltd.inc, etc. Now you do not want to say, for example, here, hey, first name, saw company name LLC, saw Maya Process LLC. No, just make sure that you templated the hell out of it. And it's just not what we want, right? So step four is pre-draft the copy and then plug to instantly for instant outreach. That's literally it. Okay, very, very straightforward system. You do not need to personalize this just because we're already going for the pain-led angle. So you do not need to personalize anything. Okay, if you're wondering, well, why are we not adding a congrats line? Well, not every copy needs to have AI in it, right? This is what most like beginners, freelancers, entrepreneurs in the AI and automation space, and they think they need to like add AI to anything. Like, no. When it makes sense, add AI. When it doesn't make sense, don't add AI, right? Like, why would you do that? It's kind of like those people want to automate everything, okay? And I used to be those people when I first got started. So I was like, oh, I want to automate everything. Well, that's just a dumb way to think about it. Like, automate what makes sense, right? Another big mistake. People are making 25K a month. Like I consult with so many people right now that even making like 75K, 100K a month. And then like they're like, Saad, okay, I want to systemize my business. What do I do? What do I automate? And I'm like, you should already know what you should be automating, right? The pain, you should already be feeling the pain, right? So it doesn't make any sense to automate everything. Always automate what makes sense, okay? And you will know what makes sense to automate based off the pain that you're gonna get or you're gonna experience and feel, okay? So step one is going to be Apollo building a list. So I'm just gonna go to apollo.io, log in, all right? So this is basically just a free Apollo account. If you're wondering how do I get Apollo, just sign up using an email. All right. I need to remove all these filters from my past searches here. So let me remove this, and pretend basically like I am her or I am you trying to build this list right now. Okay. All right. So this is basically the dashboard. Well, step one is I'm going to go to email status, make sure it's safe to send because you only want to deal with safe to send emails. Make sure to always untoggle include catch-all emails. All right. Sweet. Now this is one. Let's talk about job titles. Okay, so since we already have the job titles here, here are the people or personas I want to talk to. CTO. Okay, so simply type in CTO. VP engineering. Okay, VP VP Engineering. Boom. And then head of DevOps. Head of DevOps. Okay, engineering manager. Co-founder. Tech lead. Sweet. I'm at 1.1 million leads. Now, in terms of industry, I want software development. Yes, so go to, before I do that, I'm going to go to location. I want United States, UK. Okay, so United Kingdom. So I'm still at 500,000. Okay, sweet. Employees, I'm going to go from 10 to 200. So all of these. From 11 to 200. 10 is basically 11. So 140K in terms of industry, I want software development. So software, computer software, and then software. Actually, no, it's IT, information services. Okay, I'm going to go to tech stack, which is basically technologies. AWS, Amazon, this is the one. So 13K already. So I'm just going to remove this first one. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, that was not the right one. Kubernetes. I believe there is Kubernetes. What is Kubernetes? Okay, it's an open source container orchestration platform used to automate the deployment, scaling, and management of containerized applications. All right, interesting. And then Cloudflare. All right, so 14.2K results. That's a lot, actually. It's a lot of companies. So we can. Okay, so that's a lot of companies. I only want like a small batch, right? Now, in her case, she can go ahead and scrape 14K and basically just segments. She'd have like a master Google Sheets where she put all the 14K, take 2K, tests, and then another 2K. That way she doesn't go for 14K right off the bat. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this, right? Control C, and I will scrape about 2K. Okay, so I'm going to go to Epify, and then I'm going to type in Apollo. And here's the one that I want. And I click try for free. Now I already topped up my account, right? So I have $39 here. So in order for you to scrape Apollo, always go to billings, go to subscription. Make sure to go to the starter, right? This is the one. It's called starter. It's $39. Okay, always make sure you do that. Now I'm just gonna again go to Apollo. And I'm gonna copy this, Control C, paste it here, and total numbers of records, I'm just gonna put 2,000. It's basically like $2. Okay, clean output, yes. Run options, make sure it's no timeout. And maximum charge results, just 2,000. Yeah. Save and start. So now the scraper is gonna go ahead and scrape on behalf of me, which is great. Fetch in page 1. Sweet. So now, while this is scraping, I'm just going to go to make.com and I'm actually start building the system. Okay. The system is very straightforward, like 4 or 5 steps, which is awesome, right? Because it gets the job done. Okay. It's not fancy. It's not shiny, but shiny things or sexy things don't make money, you know? So click on this plus button and just name this IT AWS client fulfillment. All right. So what I'm going to do, they changed the UI of Make, which is pretty nice. I'm going to type in Epify. I'm going to go to Get Dataset Items. I'm going to click on this Add button, go to Connection Type, Epify API Token, right? And then I'm going to go to Settings. And then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to API Integrations, copy this API key, go back to Make, paste it here, and click save. Okay. I'm going to go to dataset ID. I'm going to go back to my run, go to storage, copy this dataset ID, paste it here, go to limit, just put 1, name this leads or a pillow, scrape. I'm going to run once, and then I have the data, right? Sweet. Well, what do I do now? I'm going to save this first. I need to validate the emails, okay? Now, there's multiple ways to validate emails. There's one called Mail Tester Ninja, which is pretty nice. If you go to subscribe, it's very cheap. It's like $4. Like, I mean, $4, that's like peanuts. There's another one called Mails.so, right? Which is this one. This is the one that I'm going to be using right now since I already have it. Okay. So once you sign up to Mails.so, go to API. This is your API key, right? Let me copy it. Control C, Mails.so. Validate an email. Create a connection. Paste this here. And then just name AWS fulfillment. Save. Unauthorized. Oh yeah, I forgot something. Yeah. There we go. So now I'm gonna go to email, save this, and then let's see if it's an email valid. Okay, so acceptable. Let's double check with the command center. If you guys don't know, this is the command center, which is a platform specifically for the community, which is essentially just, if you go to get your API key, you will see that we have the email finder, right? Which is this one, email verifier, email finder, email provider, etc. We have everything. So in her case, she can just go ahead and use it. And if you're wondering how does it work, let me walk you guys through it. So HTTP, make a request. Let's go to the command center. And then we're going to go to the command center right here. As you can see, there's my email. Control C. Paste it here. And then we're going to feed in the email that we have, which is email. Meta is going to be get. Headers are going to be, these are the headers of our API. Control C. Paste it here. Shout out to our developer, Sammy, who actually built this. So Xrapid API key. Now, obviously, I'm not going to showcase my API key. So I'm going to put it right here in value. So let me just run once. Let's see. And then let's check the command center. All right. Data. Okay, so valid. So it also gives you the Microsoft, right? It's either like the email provider, which is Microsoft. So this email is Microsoft, which is awesome, right? So command center for the win, right? But let's continue with Mails.so. So it is going to be validate email. Okay, since we validated the email, what we're going to do is click on this plus button, go to Entropic Cloud, create a prompt, and then I'm going to go to model. I want to use SendNet, max token 750. Go to messages, add message, user content role, text. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to clean the company name. So I'm just going to go to my 7-figure prompts. And I'm just going to clean the company name using this prompt that I have. Control C. Paste it here. So normalize the company name, which is going to be the where's the company name? Organization name. Domain is going to be, well, domain, obviously, which is the domain. Domain. And then we also have the organization LinkedIn URL, which is awesome. Yeah. So the LinkedIn, the organization, and the company. Okay, the company's LinkedIn URL. Which is sweet. Actually, we can scrape the LinkedIn, right, using the command center. It gives me ideas right now. But we're not going to personalize, yeah. So this is going to be clean names, clean company name. If you guys are wondering, we have the command center. We have a LinkedIn company scraper. Now, I showed this multiple times. Essentially just gives you Let me go to example responses. So it's going to give you basically the company description, number of employees, industry, even like recent publications you can use in your outreach, right, for your personalization, right? So multiple things, even similar companies. So right now, since I'm cleaning the company name, I think I need to add this as JSON. Yeah, provide the final normalized results in the correct JSON as result, because AI models just output weird spaces, and I do not like that. So second thing is going to be JSON. So JSON parse JSON or JSON, whatever you want to name it, right? Text response, and then we're going to add a filter here, condition only if results equal to deliverable, because obviously you do not want to deal with emails that are not deliverable. Valid? Sweet. Well, what do we have now? Let's go back. So pre-draft the copy. Yeah, pre-draft the copy. So simply just copy the copy. That's literally it. So copy this, and then click on this plus button, go to tools, not make tools, go to tools, set variables. So saw company name. Okay, so we need to get access to the JSON. So let me just name this dream email first. And then I'm just gonna unlink this, run anyway. And all right, there we go. Clean company name. We'll now saw company name. And then, hey, Rochelle. Dash. And then copy. And then again, copy. Copy. Sweet. So just save this. All right. Hey Rochelle, saw Optimus folks is running a cloud heavy stack. Figured out reach out. Okay, I need to add a couple spaces here. See how clean this copy is, right? All right, sweet. So now I'm gonna plug everything to instantly. So add lead to a campaign. I'm gonna go to instantly. Log in. And if you're wondering how do I authenticate my account, go to settings, okay? And then go to integrations, go to API keys and make sure it's version 1, copy your API key, and then click on API key and save it. Okay, now I already have it. I do not need to redo it. So campaign ID, well, obviously, go to campaign, just name this AWS client. All right, now I don't have any leads. Well, what do? I'm gonna go to campaign ID, refresh, and I'll see it's in front of me, which is AWS client. Sweet. So the leads email, well, obviously the email here, the first name is first name, last name. Let me copy this, put this here, and the company name is obviously going to be the text response, not really the result from JSON. The personalization is just a dream email. Sweet. Alrighty. Now let's actually check. So we scraped 2000. All right, sweet. So we scraped 2000. Sweet. So let me check a few things. Yeah, sounds good. All right, sweet. So what I'm gonna do is let me just test 50. Auto align. And then we added the lead. So let me go to analytics, leads. All right, let me just type in personalization. Sweet, I love this. Looks good. Let's actually test this. Send test email to this email. Okay. Let's check this. Okay. This is a good email. Think about this. Check this out. It's amazing, right? So the only thing we need to add is basically like a subject line here. First name. Quick intro. There we go. This is how you fulfill for a similar client, right? Now, the only thing you have to do is just get out there, take action. I believe in you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.